BBC, the Bruntwood Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the early news. Reports are coming in about a PIPS inspection force taking action in a local school. Let's go to our roving reporter Dickie Dimwit for further information.
Hello, this is Dickie Dimwit, reporting from the perimeter fence of Bruntwood School. Everything appears normal out here, but nobody's been allowed in or out since the PIPS have took over. However, there are some witnesses to what occurred, though they are terribly shocked. Can you tell us what happened?
The school was invaded by PIPS.
What did you say, Mr. Goby?
The school was invaded by PIPS.
Can you fill us in with all the details?
Yes, the school is invaded by PIPS.
Thank you for those informative comments. As you can see, it's all happening here. Dickie Dimwit, signing off, over to the studio.
If there are any further developments, we will let you know in our later bulletins. So goodbye for now.
Some of you may have wondered why I took early retirement and why the PIPS, the Primary School Inspection Police, took over my school. Maybe this film of my class, hard at work, will set the record straight.
4 o'clock Friday, I'm home at last. Time to forget the week that's passed. On Monday break they stole my ball and threw it over the playground wall. On Tuesday afternoon in games they threw mud at me and called me names. On Wednesday they trampled my books on the floor. So Miss kept me in because I swore. On Thursday they laughed after the test because my marks were lower than the rest. 4 o'clock Friday, at last I'm free. For 2 whole days they can't get at me.
And in fact it's Friday today, isn't it?
My name's Catherine and I'm going to recite a poem. Twinkle, twinkle, chocolate boy, your dad drives a rusty car. Press the starter, pull the choke. Off he goes in a cloud of smoke.
Hi, my name's Anthony and I'm going to tell you a joke. What did the big candle say to the little candle?
I don't know. What did the big candle say to the little candle?
I'm going out tonight.
Oh, very funny. Next, please.
I've got 2 cards and they're both the same size, and when I put them together, they're not the same size.
Now, that's magic.
Now I'm going to go and do it again.
Well done, Laura. Edward is now going to give us some information about the Red Sea. Over to you, Edward.
The Red Sea is a narrow arm of the Indian Ocean. It stretches for 1,900 kilometres, dividing Abria from north-east Africa.
I think you mean Arabia.
Arabia. It has an area of about...
For our next item, we have Anthony Burridge, who certainly doesn't lack courage. Have you seen that tie? How interesting. Now, he is going to demonstrate his skill at telling a joke. Over to you, Anthony.
What is a crocodile's favourite game?
They don't know, and we don't know. What is a favourite game of a crocodile?
Snap.
Oh, yes. This time we're going to hear some facts from Hannah.
Which is the highest building in the world? It's the CNN Tower in Canada. The second highest building in the world is in the USA. It has 110 floors, 16,000 windows, 103 lifts, and 18 escalators. Think about the poor window cleaner.
Isn't she clever to remember all these facts? Well done, Hannah, brain of Britain. And now we are going to have the most serious and sensible boy in the class. We can hardly ever get a grin from him, but today he's been practicing very hard, and Philip is here with his specially prepared grin. Okay, over to you, Philip.
Why can't a car play football?
I don't know. Why can't a car play football?
Because it's only got one boot.
Oh, well. Now, last but not least, we have Matthew, or Matt for short, the famous doormat. Over to you, Matt.
Did you Did you hear about a boy who does bird impressions?
No, I didn't hear about the boy who does bird impressions. Tell me.
He eats worms.
Oh, how disgusting. Ugh. As if we've not had enough magic with Delnaz, we now have John to perform a trick. Over to you, John, and explain what you're doing.
Well, hello, here I am again, and I have a magic trick for you. I have one piece of paper. I'm going to rip it up.
Oops, that's torn it.
Rip it up even more. No. Put it into that hand. Gob, actually.
John, you're disgusting.
We have an interpreter who tells us that word means mouth.
How's your mouth when you're eating?
He's turned the paper into a load of puppies. Well, it's a litter anyway. And now, once again, we have come back to our roving reporter who's changed his name. It is now going under the alias of Nick Stacey.
Hello. I've got a joke for you. First, it is about a boy that goes to school, but somehow he took the ladders. Why?
Why did he take ladders to school?
Because it was his first day at high school.
Oh, I see. We don't seem to be able to get rid of Alexandra. She's come at last with a talking carrot. Well, a parrot, I mean. Over to you. What does your parrot do, Alexandra?
My parrot copies whatever I say. All right. I'll make it say, my name is Polly. My name is Polly.
That is fantastic. I think that is marvellous.
That is marvellous.
I think it sounds just like me.
It sounds just like me.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic. Over and out.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Hello, my name is Scott. This is Edward and this is Alex and this is Ryan. And we're going to do a poem.
Okay.
Inky Pinky Ponky.
Daddy bought a donkey.
Donkey died. Daddy cried.
Inky Pinky Ponky.
That is fantastic. It will win the prize for poetry this year. Well done. Get off.
If you're roly-poly jelly, or splash upon the floor, take your shoes and socks off and kick it out the door. Right, my name is Alexandra and I'm going to tell a joke. What did the big chimney say to the little chimney?
I've heard this one before. You're too young to smoke.
How did you know?
Because I'm older than you, that's how. Here we have two ordinary boys, and at their feet is one ordinary bin for putting waste stuff in the classroom. Right, boys, can you very carefully pick up the bin and put it on the table? Go on, boys. Right. The bin at the moment is quite empty. We'll have a look inside. Okay, boys. I now want you to get some objects to put inside. Bring the food containers and carefully put them inside the bin. Stop then. Right, okay. That's right. Get the paper off the floor and cover the bin carefully. Now hold the container up, take a handful of the magic powder and sprinkle it over the top. That's right, and say, oofle dust, make everything go.
Oofle dust, make everything go.
And now take off the paper and let us see what has happened below. Tip the thing forward. Is there anything in? Absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the children, entrusted to my gentle care, received an excellent education. I rest my case. P.S. Retirement isn't all that bad.